What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. Look, it's pretty well known at this point that Kamala Harris has definitely created some buzz for the Democratic Party. Ever since Joe Biden dropped out of the race, how long ago has that been now? About 2 weeks ago now, almost? Whatever the case may be. Ever since Joe Biden dropped out and Kamala Harris has emerged as the de facto Democratic nominee, there has been a little bit of a shift in this race. As toxic as former President Trump is, as politically damaged as he is, Joe Biden was going to be probably the weakest incumbent running for re-election since Herbert Hoover in 1932, even weaker than Jimmy Carter. And, even though Trump is weak, Biden was super weak. And that was probably going to lead to, with all of the baggage that Biden had personally, that was probably going to lead to Trump winning a considerable victory this November. But Kamala Harris obviously is younger. She's more in her prime, even though I don't really see her as a heavyweight. But still, the mainstream media is going to pump her up and has been pumping her up. They've turned a person who was seen as incompetent or perceived to be incompetent and a person who was not even really well liked within their own party. Now, all of a sudden, she's, quote unquote, a rising star, a force, a phenomenon. And, when you have the mainstream media backing you 90% plus, when you got social media, 80% of social media, at least in my circle, seem to be behind her. She has a really good shot at becoming the first female president, man. But there is something that's lurking. Now, I don't know how significant this is going to end up being, but if you look at the latest jobs report, somewhere between 114,000 to 175,000 jobs, depending upon whether you're looking at Bloomberg or you're looking at other sources, were added to the economy in July. That was a very, very low figure and far lower than what people were anticipating, the experts, the so-called experts that track these things. Also, the national unemployment rate went up. Now, to me, I don't really see a big difference between a 4.1% unemployment rate and a 4.3% unemployment rate, especially considering the fact that during Obama's first term, we were still having 7 and 8% unemployment rates. And when Bush was president, toward the end of his second term, the unemployment rate was at over 10%. So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, things are getting a little bit worse, a little bit. There's a little bit of a downturn, but still, I don't know about using this term recession, especially considering the fact that although the GDP growth rate slowed, it still was growing. Usually when you have a recession, there's the economy is actually contracting. So I don't know about whether or not the term recession should be used. But you got Trump supporters who follow these things, who got half a brain cell. And they're looking at some of these economic factors, and they're saying that a recession may be on the way. Now, this is the thing. Now, I'm not an expert in this field, but I do know this. Usually, when you have a recession, you don't really start feeling it until several months before before you start seeing the numbers showing you that's what we're going to. You know what I'm saying? Like in the stock market, when we're in a bear market or when the market's down, that can be an indicator before we get into a recession. When you have a bull market or you're starting to run into a bull market, when the stock market's going up and up like we saw in the 90s, that can be an indicator months and months or even a year or so or more away before we get into economic boom. Like we saw during the Clinton administration, where the country gained 22 to 25 million jobs. You know what I'm saying? Let's just go with the fact that we are going into a recession, right? Is that going to hurt Kamala? Probably not, because we already supposedly feel like, people feel like things are not well. Just there's the perception that things are not going well, all right? So the Republicans, they're too stupid to even use this because they're so enamored and so used, because they're so goddamn racist as a party. They're so used to going after the obvious racial attacks, which they think is effective. But look, you've already maximized that. You've already maximized the amount of voters that's going to go out there and vote against Kamala because of her skin color, or, subtly because she's a woman. Which, to me, if Trump does that, that's going to hurt him more than help him, obviously, because, look, last time you were able to attack Hillary Clinton because she had such an extensive record. Yeah, there were some personal attacks, and she screwed herself with that deplorables comment, but Hillary Clinton had such a long record that Trump was able to attack. Okay? With Kamala, it's more personal attacks, and that turns people off. And in particular, I think it turns off women. So don't be surprised if on election night, after whatever the results are, if you see Trump may have narrowly lost or lost outright white women. Because younger white women, remember, we're 8 years away from 2016. Younger white women, from what I can decipher, people who are experts in this thing and I look into their opinions on this and just my own observations. Younger women are younger white women, probably a little bit different from traditional white women who, even if they are in the past more liberal than their husbands, they often voted like their husbands or their spouses. Younger white women under 45 are different. A lot of them aren't married, and they truly are, quote unquote, independent. Even if they are married, they tend to vote the way they want to vote, not the way that their husbands vote. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference in mentality. Older white women and older women in general, but particularly older white women, they felt like, look, the man is the leader in the household. Even though I feel a certain particular way, a lot of them also weren't as politically invested as their husbands were. Younger women in general are much more politically inclined. So I think a lot of this stuff that Trump's doing is turning off women, to be honest with you. And that J.D. Vance stuff is not helping. But yeah, look, I don't really think this is going to hurt Kamala. You know what I'm saying? And anyway, let's just say by October, there are some more and more signs that the economy is starting to turn into borderline recession. If anything, the Feds are just going to cut interest rates, which probably would do a little bit of a bump, maybe right before the election, late October, November. So you can kind of, artificially do things to temporarily stimulate the economy. You know what I'm saying? Nixon did it in 72. You know what I'm saying? If you look into it, his administration had the Federal Reserve do little things to temporarily knock off what we eventually saw in late 73, 74, which was a lagging economy. But yeah, I just think that at the end of the day, I don't think this is really going to hurt Kamala Harris. And you know what I'm saying? This ain't about me support. I'm gonna tell you another thing that gets on my damn nerves, man. A lot of people that's following these political things, man, these political issues, they cannot listen. They don't listen to other people. Um, they just read titles. They're really fucking lazy people, bro. Really lazy motherfuckers. They don't listen to my videos are not that long. Okay? They're not. Most of my videos are under 13, 14 minutes. Even if you have just to half the video to get the gist of what I'm talking about. They can't even do that. What they do is these lazy motherfuckers, they read the title, they look at the comment section, and then they make a snap judgment based on that or what you're talking about, and then leave their comment. Because they're lazy, stupid, fucking knuckle dragging moron primates. You know what I'm saying? Who can't accept other people's opinions. And they're so goddamn deluded by whatever religious beliefs or ideology they've been fed all their goddamn lives that they're intolerant to other people's opinions. And when they can't really argue what you're saying, then they go to the insult tactics. You know what I'm saying? This is the new one that's a gas to me. Now that Joe Biden has dropped out, right? And Kamala's a nominee. Now they're trying to pressure everybody to support her using the race angle. Now, if you don't support Kamala, you are a buck, you know what, right? You're a buck and a house Negro, whatever, right? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I just block them, bro. Because they don't listen. It's like these dudes are such trained Democratic shields. Democratic shields that if you don't support the Democratic candidate, they just automatically assume that you're a Trump supporter. No matter how many times I keep saying I'm not a Trump supporter, you just saying it. You just saying that because you don't want people to be on you. You know, you just saying it because you don't want nigga. I don't know you. I don't have to say anything or put on a front for you. Who are you to me? I don't know who you are. I don't even know you exist. It's crazy, man. But man, look, I've been talking this political shit, man, since I was in goddamn third grade. You know what I'm saying? You may not agree with what I'm talking about, but I know what the hell I'm talking about. And you know what I'm saying? A lot of you dudes is chocolate-covered white supremacists, and you don't even realize that you're regurgitating what your captors, when I say captors of your mind, program you to do. It's Stockholm syndrome. But you guys get carte blanche to do it because you think because you look a certain way, you can say whatever you want to say. A lot of you dudes, you hate other black people. You just do. You train like that. I see it all the time. Same dudes that defend Ryan Garcia but got smoked for Jonathan Majors. There's something wrong with you dudes, man. And also, I need people to make up their minds about one thing for me. This is the last thing I want to say in this video. Whenever I come on here and I talk about Pan-Africanism, then I get, oh man, they're not like us. Man, stop capping for these people that ain't your people and right? These same Negroes are going in to paint hard for Kamala Harris. But I thought you said they're using they ain't like us. For everybody else, it's they ain't like us. But with Kamala Harris, she's a sister. I need y'all to make up your minds. Or is it that y'all such tender dicks that just to get the idea of you could possibly get the whiff of Kamala's 60-year-old twat is enough to make you jump ship and just really y'all just motivated by haterism and shit. Is that what it is? Because I despise you motherfuckers too. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I know a lot of y'all follow me and y'all hate my guts. And I hate them back. Anyway, that's all I got to say about it.